The more we judge people, the less time we have to love them. Mother Teresa.
See, I have a story to tell, where I have been and where I am. Was wondering why life seems so hard, and how can I get out of my mess?
Hello, 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 hello. Beautiful people, and welcome to Gracie Be Inspired. I hope you're having a wonderful morning, afternoon, evening, day, whatever time it is where you are, as I always say. It's wonderful to have you here one more time, just back to talk and finalize about the topic emotional intelligence. This topic, has helped me to grow a lot in the last few months of my life, and I just thought, okay, share with your people and see how you can make them better. And I've got a lot of good feedback from you all. Thank you for everyone who's given a feedback saying they've learned a lot from all that I've spoken about on emotional intelligence, and I hope this summary is just gonna give you the heat and the purpose, because in everything we do in life there is a purpose, right? And there's a motive behind it. So the motive for me creating these videos about emotional intelligence is the major talent, or the major attribute you can have as a human to be able to live on earth and make that impact. So today I'll just be rounding up this topic by talking about practical things and the things that we need to do, because all this while, the first and the second episode, I talked about things a lot about the theory aspect of it. Today I want to link it to the practical aspect of it, and I just want you to just sit where you are and just pick points. And then, as I always say, no, not one size fits all. No, there's no size for everything. There's a different size for everything we do. So as an individual, you know your size and you know what part of your life you need to improve on to be best at relating to people, because we need people. I was watching a video recently and it was talking about people currency, and I was like, currency, yeah, we know we have currencies of in the UK, in Europe, in America, Nigeria, India, whatever country you're from, you have a currency there. And we think that in life, for you, wherever you find yourself, right? You find yourself in Nigeria, you need to spend naira. You find yourself in the UK, you need to spend pounds. And even funny enough, even within the UK, I remember one time I went to London and I had because I live in Scotland, which is a part of the UK, and I had Scottish pounds on me, and I went to one of the corner shops in London, and the guy in the shop was like, I don't know this money. Where's this money from? Because I tried to pay with the Scottish pounds, and he was like, I don't know this money. Where's this money from? I'm like, it's pounds. Read it. It's pounds. It says pounds. Why can I not spend it here? And the guy's like, oh, sorry, I need English pounds. Me, I don't know this money. Me, no know this money. I'm like, you don't know this money? I'm going to involve the police, huh? I just really felt upset that he didn't let me spend my Scottish pounds in England. And he took it really seriously. In fact, I had to go to a cash machine opposite his shop to get English pounds to buy what I wanted to buy, because I did not have time for his drama and I had a lot on my plate and I couldn't just fight it. So what am I talking about? Linking that to life and linking that to people. The people you have around you, they all have different currencies and they all have different, different characteristics and different characters. So when you're with someone, for example, whose personality is that they are introverted, or they are like, I said I'm going to do a video on the different temperaments. So someone whose temperament is like sanguine, and then you want to treat them like a melancholy, that does not work. So you have to treat a sanguine like a sanguine. You have to know the currency of the people around you to be able to be intelligent in the way you relate with them. So people, currency, people are important. In life, we need people. There's no promotion without people, even if it's not people you have a relationship with. It can be your boss. He's a person. There's no community without people. It could be your neighbor, it could be your community in church, it could be your group of friends in school. You always need people. Nobody's an island, they say. If you try to be an island, you could just go depressed. So every individual in life needs people in their life. You need people in your life. So as an individual, what are you doing to improve on your people skills so that you don't lose the people that are meant to make an impact in your life in every phase of your life? With the people currency, it could be that you actually need this person for this season, as we've done a video about the different times in life and the different kind of relationship. I'm going to go back to emotional intelligence and just pinpoint the main things that I've learned in the last few months, just to give you a summary. So I'm just going to explain to you again emotional intelligence. If you've not watched my previous video, you can go back and watch it. But emotional intelligence is the ability to manage and understand your own emotions, and then also manage and understand other people's emotions, because when you do that, you kind of are able to balance relationship and balance communication, and life will be a much more better and peaceful place to be. You need people, as I said, you need people, because people are the way to success. People are the way to success. You're going up the ladder, there's always one person above you, there's always one person below you. So you need people to climb every ladder of your life. Your children need people, your children need relationships, you need relationships, you need friends, you need a community to be able to associate with people. I remember just when the lockdown happened, I heard a story of a lady that died in her flat in Glasgow. And she had a little baby with her, and I was reading the story recently, and I was like, she died and she was in there for a while and nobody knew. Also, I read another story recently, you know, with lockdown happening, you hear all sorts of stories. Another woman in Aberdeen died in her flat, and nobody even knew she was dead until it was time for her jab, her COVID jab. And then they tried to reach her, they couldn't reach her, and then they went to a flat and found out her body was there. You know, so you see, don't be an island. Just always have at least one or two people that you can hold on to and you can call in your time of need, and that will check up on you when they don't hear from you. They check up on you and say, are you okay? Because that just helps us, you know, all to enjoy this world better in this life that we're living. So now, emotional intelligence, the importance of it, right? We talked about the characteristics of it and all, and now we need to know the importance of it, because I've talked about people management, I've talked about how we need people. We need people in this world, but you can link it to emotional intelligence, because some people say, oh, I don't need people because people have too much drama, it's just too much problem, you know, trying to please people or trying to be in this person's shoes, it's just too complicated, I just don't want to have anyone in my life. Trust me, you need people. You do need people. As I said, we need people, right? Yes. But there's also time for everything. There's a time when those people in your life, there's a time to back off, and there's a time to engage with people. You're in someone's life, or someone is in your life, and you feel like, oh, this period of this time of this person's life, all they want to do is be alone. Then back off. When someone is upset and shouting, and someone is saying, oh, you don't get me, or someone is just in a bad place, sometimes it's good to back off, right? Sometimes it's good at that point. You know the people in your life and you know what they need. And you know people who, when they're going through stuff, all they want to do is be alone. Not alone enough to harm themselves, because you know we've got mental health and we keep talking about it, it's real. But also be able to be sensitive enough when you think they're being alone is not good for them, and be able to engage with them with respect, but still no boundaries. You know, and not be upset. I have a few friends in my life that when they've not spoken to me in a long time, just because I've been a bit withdrawn, because we all have that period in our life. We all have that period in our life when we withdraw. So there are times in my life when I withdraw, and then people call me and maybe I don't pick my call, and I'm not just in the mood for people. Yeah, I'm human, remember? Yeah, and then some of them will get upset and say, oh, we're always calling Gracie and she doesn't answer her call, it's just rude, I can't even be bothered, I can't force myself on her, blah blah blah. But I also have friends who just know that I'm having a tough time and I am probably not just in a good place at that time, and then they give me a little of space, and I sometimes reach out back to them, because there are people who I reach out back to and they can't be bothered anymore because they've given up on me. But there are people who I reach back out to them, or I don't even reach out to them, and they just give me a little time, and then they reach out to me again and say, oh, I was calling you this period. They don't get offended and say, I've called you 6 times, you didn't pick. Because we should understand that we are all on this earth going through this different stuff. We're going through different stuff in life, and sometimes, you know, we withdraw. So emotional intelligence teaches us that we should sometimes engage and sometimes back off. Not in a bad way, but just give some space. Give some space. Even as a husband and wives, I have friends, you know, who are married, and sometimes, you know, they are in the room, the husband is in the room, the wife is in the living room. It's not because they don't love each other anymore, but they just need that space. Because we as humans, we always need our space too. You can't be too choking. So emotional intelligence teaches you not to choke people. Because I remember even a place in the Bible that says that when you visit your neighbor too often, you become a nuisance. Have you read that before? I read it that once and I was like, oh my goodness, this Bible. So, you know, we should learn not to choke people. Give people their own fresh air. Give people their own space from time to time. And then, you know, when you get your energy from, you know, breathing in, and then you come back and then force your relationships again. So know when to back off and know when to engage. Another thing I'm going to speak about around emotional intelligence is that we should evaluate the person around us, right? Because we're all different. You know, not all one size fits all, as I said. Not one size fits all. We're all different. Evaluate the person in your life and say, what and what can I do to make this relationship better? What and what can I do to make this person not feel like, to make this person feel like I'm a real person in their life, I'm their real friend. You know, what and what can I do? Evaluate the people around you and be sensitive on how to react in every situation you find yourself around there. And so, you know, as we're talking about emotional intelligence, we talked about how to choose our attitude. You know, you choose our attitude, be self-aware, you know, be in your relationship building, be self-aware, be people aware, be socially, you know, aware, have empathy towards others. All these points we spoke about, remember them and just put them at the back of your mind and use them to relate with people every day. You know, one of the things that I also learned about while I was doing my studies, that we have to own our behavior. We have to own our behaviors. Many times in our relationships, we blame other people for how the relationships have gone or friendships have gone. Oh, this person did not understand how I was feeling, and they did this, and then I blew up, and then everything just blew up. No, I think we should not blame others and point fingers at others, because there's this saying, I love sayings a lot, that says that when you point one finger at someone, remember you're pointing the others to yourself. So we've got 5 fingers. You point one at someone, you're pointing the rest of the 4 towards yourself. So that is life. That is life. You know, own your own behavior. When you've done something bad to someone, be humble enough, kill the ego, and be humble enough to say, I know I hurt you this way, and I'm sorry. And I'll try my best not to do it again. One of the things that really upsets me about my relationships and my friendships that have gone bad, sour, because it's normal in life, is that, you know, when the person does something to you, to me, you do something to someone, right? And the person says, you've done this thing to me. The person, most likely, because I as a person, most times, I already forgive you. Once I have said it to you that you've done this to me, I've already forgiven you. But if you get defensive and you're giving me reasons why you hurt me, or you're giving me reasons why you did what you did, it makes me feel like you're already planning to do it again. So for me, what works for me is that when someone does something to me, I tell you how I feel. One of the major things for me is how you react to my expression of how I feel. And I think everyone would be like that. If someone puts up the courage to come to you and say, you hurt me this way, or shows it in their character, because not everyone is extrovert. In the past, I used to be like so introverted that when someone hurts me, I just keep it in me. I might give you a bit of attitude, but I'll really not tell you exactly what you've done. But I've grown, and now I speak a bit more. So it could be that the person is speaking and telling you, you've done this to me. You know, just stay silent and listen to the person and do something, and don't be defensive. Don't be defensive. Just say, oh, I'm sorry, I didn't know you felt that way. And that's what we talked about, empathy, putting yourself in another person's shoes. Or even if the person does not say it and the person is just showing it in their character and becoming so cold towards you, You know, be the humble one, be the bigger person. Go to them and say, I notice you've changed towards me, your attitude have changed. Don't talk to another person about it, because the third person is not in the scenario and it's not in the picture of what has happened. And the third person will just bring their ideas and just ruin everything for you. So you just pull yourself together and say, oh, I noticed this has changed about you. Is there anything I did that changed it? Is there anything I could do to make it better? That's how we say put yourself in other people's shoes. And one of the things that I notice about we humans is that we judge people a lot. We judge people a lot. If we spend 1 hour with someone, at least we've judged one thing about that person within that period. Maybe you look at the person like, oh, why are they yawning like that? Or why are they not covering them out when they're sneezing? Or it could be like little things like that, or it could be a bigger judgment, you know. So one of the ways to improve your emotional intelligence is do not judge people. Try and just, you know, take people for who they are and on face value, and give people chances, and you know, listen more, and then you can understand where that person is coming from. Whether in his bad habit or bad character, you understand where that person is coming from, and that makes you intelligent and people rich. As we talked about people currency, remember. Also, we have to embrace diversity and know that we're all different. As I said, we're all different people. It's not just diversity when it comes to the cultural diversity. We're talking about diversity in personality. Everyone is diverse, everyone is different in their personality. So being able to understand this and, you know, embrace it. Humans are different. Embrace people for who they are. I'm not saying put yourself in relationships of harm, because you will be wise enough to be able to differentiate. But I'm talking about good people, and there's no one who is perfectly good, but at least good to an extent. When someone has done something positive in your life to a large extent, you know, just accept them for who they are and try to avoid conflict. One of the other things I was studying about when it comes to emotional intelligence are 5 key points that could help in your, you know, relating with people, and just knowing that you need to take people for who they are and be wise. Because if you don't have relationships and you break away from people, you're actually emotionally not intelligent. I don't want to use another word. So intelligence is not just, oh, IQ, knowing your book and knowing things, logic and all that. No, relating that's in fact the most complicated kind of intelligence, is the human intelligence, relating with people one-to-one. But before I go into those points, I'm going to also read a scripture. You know how I always like to tie all my words to the word, because that is the foundation of my faith, as I say. Corinthians chapter 10 verse 24 says, try to do what is good for others, not just what is good for yourself. So the Bible is saying that sometimes, yes, the Bible says love your neighbor as yourself. You have to love yourself first, yeah? I know I've talked about all this and it seems all complicated, but yes, try to do something good for others, you know, even as you do for yourself, not just for yourself. Do something good for others. Think about other people and how they feel, and what could be causing the way they feel, or what could be causing their reaction. So these points I said I was going to talk about, there are a few major points. Don't judge people. What did I say? Don't judge people. I've already explained that aspect of it, so put that in your hand. Always give people second chances. Don't judge people, because you don't know where they are coming from. The second thing is, don't judge yourself or play the victim. Those are together. I put them together because they're important. Sometimes we judge ourselves and say, oh, I'm not good enough, I'm not this, oh, nobody loves me, oh, there's nothing I can do that can make this person love me, there's nothing I can do that can make this person accept me. So you put a kind of bridge between you and people, and then you don't give people the chance to actually get to love you. Don't play the victim. We all have gone through things in life, yes, but it's the past. And then I know that those scars are still there, and they never go away, and they will never go away. So why waste your time dwelling on them? Another thing that could help you with your emotional intelligence is that you have to wait. When someone is talking to you, or someone is giving you a reaction, or someone is acting a particular way towards you, wait. Don't be quick to speak, be slow to speak. That's what the Bible says, be slow to speak. Because words are like eggs, and when you drop them, they break, you can put them back together. So be slow to speak, wait, and listen. And even after the person speaks, use a magnifying glass to look at your behavior. So you're saying that, oh, this person is bad, this person is bad, this person is bad. Are you all good? Are you all perfect? This person has this bad character. Is your character perfect? Oh, this person doesn't show me love. Do you show them love? Oh, this person does not understand my love language. Do you understand their love language? Did you speak about it? Use a magnifying glass, you know. Deal with you first. And once you've dealt with you and you're better, then you can deal with others. So know who you are, where you are going, what you want. Be not afraid to speak the truth. Create your boundaries so that people can respect you, and be assertive, not aggressive. You know, be assertive, not aggressive. Don't make everything all about fights, but you know, be assertive. So in your business, in your place of work, in your friendships, in your relationships, in your marriage, in your community, in every aspect of life, you need to always put people first. Think about people and think about what could be triggering the way they are behaving, and that will help you to be emotionally intelligent. Remember, we need people. Don't cut away people. Give people second chances. Put yourself in their shoes, you know, and build your people skill. Build your emotional intelligence. Build your emotional intelligence and make this world a better place. I have had a wonderful time just talking about this. I know I've talked about a lot of things, but remember the major things I talked about: people currency. You need people, we need people. I need you, you need me. So let's work together to make the world a better place. I hope you've enjoyed listening to me, and I just hope I've dropped one or two things that will make you feel better and help you to grow in your emotional intelligence. I want to say I love you as always, and it's been wonderful having you here. Thank you for your support, for always being here for me. Heal the world, make it a better place for you and for me and the entire human race. There are people dying. If you care enough for the living, make a better place for you and for me. You and for me. You